The Destruction of Mankind. Chapter 2. To this chapter shall be set over the cow. The supporters called Haanti shall be by her shoulder. The supporters called Haanti shall be at her side, and 1 cubit and 4 spans of hers shall be in colors, and 9 stars shall be on her belly, and Set shall be by her 2 thighs and shall keep watch before her 2 legs, and before her 2 legs shall be Shu, under her belly, and he shall be made in green kennet color. His 2 arms shall be under the stars, and his name shall be made, i.e., written, in the middle of them, namely, Shu himself. Shu and his twin sister was the father and mother of all the gods. The Hittite writings show how Shu got to earth, and there he is known as Alulu, the father of Anu. A boat with a rudder and a double shrine shall be therein, and Aten shall be above it, and Ra shall be in it, in front of Shu, near his hand, or, as another reading had, behind him, near his hand. And the rudders of the cow shall be made to be between her legs, towards the left side. And on the 2 flanks, towards the middle of the legs, shall be done in writing, the exterior heaven, and I am what is in me, and I will not permit them to make her to turn. That which is under the boat which is in front shall read, You shall not be motionless, my son, and the words which are written in an opposite direction shall read, Your support is like life, and the word is as the word there, and your son is with me, and life, strength, and health be to your nostrils. And that which is behind Shu, near his shoulder, shall read, They keep ward, and that which is behind him, written close to his feet in an opposite direction, shall read, Mot, and they come in, and I protect daily. And that which is under the shoulder of the divine figure which is under the left leg, and is behind it shall read, He who seal all things. That which is over his head, under the thighs of the cow, and that which is by her legs shall read, Guardian of his exit. That which is behind the 2 figures which are by her 2 legs, that is to say, over their heads, shall read, The aged one who is adored as he goes forth, and the aged one to whom praise is given when he goes in. That which is over the head of the 2 figures, and is between the 2 thighs of the cow, shall read, Listener, Hearer, Scepter of the upper heaven, and Star. Chapter 3. 3. Then the majesty of this God spoke to Thoth, saying, Let a call go forth for me to the majesty of the god Seb. Seb or Geb was Anu, saying, Come, with the utmost speed, at once. And when the majesty of Seb had come, the majesty of this god said to him, Let war be made against thy worms which are in you, verily, they shall have fear of me as long as I have being, but you know their magical powers. Do thou go to the place where my father Nu is, and you say to him, Keep ward over the worms which are in the earth and water. And moreover, you shall make a writing for each of the nests of your serpents which are there, saying, You keep guard lest you cause injury to anything. They shall know that I am removing myself, but indeed I shall shine upon them. Since, however, they indeed wish for a father, you shall be a father to them in this land forever. Moreover, Let good heed be taken to the men who have my words of power, and to those whose mouths have knowledge of such things. Verily my own words of power are there. Verily it shall not happen that any shall participate with me in my protection, by reason of the majesty which hath come into being before me. I will decree them to your son Osiris, and their children shall be watched over. The hearts of their princes shall be obedient by reason of the magical powers of those who act according to their desire in all the earth through their words of power which are in their bodies. Chapter 4. And the majesty of this God said, Call to me the god Thoth, and one brought the god to him forthwith. And the majesty of this God said to Thoth, Let us depart to a distance from heaven. That place called heaven was Egypt, from my place, because I would make light and the God of light, Ku, in the Twat and in the land of caves. You shall write down the things which are in it, and you shall punish those who are in it, that is to say, the workers who have worked rebellion. Through you I will keep away from the servants whom this heart of mine loath. You shall be in my place Asti, and you shall therefore be called, O Thoth, the Asti of Ra. Moreover, I give you power to send forth. Thereupon shall come into being the ibis bird of Thoth. I moreover give you power to lift up your hand before the two companies of the gods who are greater than you, and what you do shall be fairer than the god can. Therefore shall the divine bird Techni of Thoth came into being. Moreover, I give you power to embrace the two heavens with your beauties, and with your rays of light. Therefore shall come into being the moon god of Thoth. Moreover, I give you power to drive back the Hanebu, therefore shall come into being the dog-headed ape of Thoth, and he shall act as governor for me. Moreover, you are now in my place in the sight of all those who see you and who present offerings to you, and every being shall ascribe praise to you, O you who are God. Chapter VV. Whoever shall recite the words of this composition over himself shall anoint himself with olive oil and with thick unguent, and he shall have propitiatory offerings on both his hands of incense, and behind his 2 ears shall be pure natron, and sweet-smelling salve shall be on his lips. He shall be arrayed in a new double tunic, and his body shall be purified with the water of the Nile flood, and he shall have upon his feet a pair of sandals made of white leather, and a figure of the goddess Mot shall be drawn upon his tongue with green-colored ochre. Whensoever Thoth shall wish to recite this composition on behalf of Ra, he must perform a 7-fold purification for 3 days, and priests and ordinary men shall do likewise. Whosoever shall recite the above words shall perform the ceremonies which are to be performed when this book is being read. And he shall make his place of standing in a circle which is beyond him, and his 2 eyes shall be fixed upon himself, all his members shall be composed, and his steps shall not carry him away from the place. Whosoever among men shall recite these words shall be like Ra on the day of his birth, and his possessions shall not become fewer, and his house shall never fall into decay, but shall endure for 1,000,000 eternities. Then the aged one himself, Ra, embraced the god Nu, and spoke to the gods who came forth in the east of the sky, Ascribe your praise to the God, the aged one, from whom I have come into being. I am he who made the heavens, and I set in order the earth, and created the gods, and I was with them for an exceedingly long period, then was born the year end. But my soul is older than it. It is the soul of Shu, it is the soul of Knemu, it is the soul of He, it is the soul of Kek and Kerh, it is the soul of Nu and of Ra, it is the soul of Osiris, the lord of Tatu, it is the soul of the Sabak crocodile gods and of the crocodiles, it is the soul of every god in the divine snakes, it is the soul of Apep in Mount Bakha, and it is the soul of Ra which pervades the whole world. Whosoever says these words works his own protection by means of the words of power. I am the God Hiko, and I am pure in my mouth, and in my belly, I am Ra from whom the gods proceeded. I am Ra, the light God. When you say this, stop forth in the evening and in the morning on your own behalf if you would make to fall the enemies of Ra. I am his soul, and I am Hika. Hail, you Lord of eternity, you Creator of everlastingness, who brings to nothing the gods who came forth from Ra, you Lord of your God, you Prince who did make what made you, who are beloved by the fathers of the gods, on whose head are the pure words of power, who did create the woman that stands on the south side of you, who did create the goddess who has her face on her breast, and the serpent which stands on his tail, with her eye on his belly, and with his tail on the earth, to whom Thoth gives praises, and upon whom the heavens rest, and to whom Shu stretches out his two hands. Deliver me from those two great gods who sit in the east of the sky, who act as wardens of heaven and as wardens of earth, and who make firm the secret places, and who are called Aaiusu, and Pur-Fer Manu. Moreover, there shall be a purifying on the day of the month, even according to the performance of the ceremonies in the oldest time. Whosoever shall recite this chapter shall have life in Neterkur, underworld, and the fear of him shall be much greater than it was formerly upon earth. And they shall say, your names are eternity and everlastingness. They are called, Opanfnaam Tayuatapu, and Reek Quatuten Neterpui Dash. An Enhraf Hershafu. I am he who has strengthened the boat with the company of the gods, and his Shanit, and his gods, by means of words of power.